Well, hello again. We are pretty much done with the front porch, so we've got to look at the new project. And what's the new project? Well, as you're seeing here, we're in front of the shop, and the shop is full of equipment, and I can't get a vehicle in there to work on it. So we have decided that we wanted to get a carport, one of them metal carports. But the problem is that you can order one today and you might not see it for 12 months. Yes, you heard me right. 12 months. Some people will tell you 6 to 10 weeks. Other people will say that's crap because it depends on the installer if he wants to do it or not. And I guess there's not much money in it for them. So the bottom line is you give them your money and then you get to wait until they have somebody or some feeling that they want to do it. So we're going to go another route. We're not going to wait 12 months. And from what I've seen, it's a tough call. Metal is flimsy, quick, but flimsy. What we're going to build is a wood one, and this is where we're going to put it. You can see there's a orange stake over there, and there's an orange stake over there. That's 18 feet. And then from that stake out to this stake is 20 feet. And you can see we've already started doing some preliminary leveling. We're killing grass over here, and we're still trying to figure out the pitches, and I am designing this. I'm looking for the best way to do it, the cheapest way to do it, and if I can use anything I've already got to cut down on the cost, because wood is ridiculously expensive. Ridiculously expensive. So yeah, this might take a while. So this is going to be in installments. I'm not obviously going to be able to pull this off quickly. So it will take some time. But I wanted to bring you on board and let you know what we're doing. If you have questions or ideas, hey, shoot them down to the bottom and we'll read them up and see what you got. All right, so here's where we stand. We got all of our post holes dug. Every one of these black stakes represents a post. We got our wood in the other day. We've got the same setup over there. And we already have the first post set. Now this post is set absolutely perfect because that's the corner, that's the key post. That and the other one on the other side of the key post, to making sure all the rest of these posts work. Company, I bought 10 footers, they sent me 12, so it makes it a little more difficult. I didn't pay for 12s. As you can see, possibly, I'm not sure if you can or not, but the string on the building represents where the base of the roof line will be. But it'll be up, probably an inch, because we're using a 2x8 as a ridge beam. There will be no center support here on the ground, not like there is back there. There will be nothing up here. So we're going to be a little creative in the way we do this. We want maximum clearance, and I want to keep. That is a 310 roof pitch. Basically, if you don't know what that means that it's running downhill for every 12 inches, it's dropping 3 inches. So you see I've got a pretty good slope on that. And I want to keep that. Those posts right there are approximately 7 feet tall. The reason I say approximate is because the two runners that go on top of it equal 3 inches. So there you go. There's your 7 feet. So that's where we are, and we are about to begin putting these outside posts in. So what we're going to do is put these posts in, get them all squared and leveled. Those two kickers right there will be what's holding it until it's all secured and finished. And the idea is that once I get that one post in, and it'll be the full 12-footer unfortunately, then the other 4 I'll be able to set, because I'll be using a string across it with a level, so that we can go ahead and mark them, cut them, and put them away on the chop saw. I don't want to have to cut them too many up in the air. The other thing we're doing is we put we dug these holes down. They're 2 feet deep. They dropped onto a solid rock down there, so that was pretty good. I like that. But I'm still going to take about, maybe 2 cups, 3 cups of mix of concrete, standard concrete, not post hole, none of that shit, regular concrete. I take a couple of cups and I dump them into the hole. Yeah, you can't really see down in there. I prepped these 2 down here because I'm working on them. Basically dry. And then of course then the post goes in, dirt goes in. No, I do not concrete in my poles. If you watch prior videos, you'll see I don't do that. I haven't had a problem with that building, or this building, or that building, or the addition to that building. I've got like 3 more buildings I could show you. They're all done this way, and I've never had a problem in, I don't know what, 40 years of building this stuff. So don't go down that road. You can do what you want. My big house here, that actually has sleeve protectors on it. So those 6x6s that are inside of that building actually are inside of a plastic case, and they had a 100-year warranty, so the plastic addition gives them like forever. So that's the only place I ever got really carried away, was this big house here. So all right, well, I'm not going to get it built holding this, and I don't want to bore you with all the mundanes. We'll bring you back and show you again. We now have both, all the studs are up. I don't know if you can see that little line over there. The string and the level up on the post right there. I know I can't see it, so you can probably see it. Anyway, yeah, so all the posts are up. Now we got to turn our minds to the top caps, the supports, get that done, and we'll let you see. All right, so let's elaborate a little bit before I start putting the top cap on. How do I get them straight? Well, I showed you the string over here. Okay, so we have a string over here that we're using as a level, and then down here this is where all the measuring comes into place. As you can see, I'm hoping, string goes all the way to the house, and then I have cross strings everywhere, so that when I stand here, yeah, I know I'm in the sun, but it's the best I can do. I can see the string touching down at the bottom, and then the string is normally touching at the top, but I moved it in so that I could put the last screw up. As you can see here, I'm over quite a ways, but it's straight. I assure you, it's straight. Yeah, I'm gonna take all these strings up now because my cat, that's the garage cat, not the barn cat, that's a garage cat. She likes to trip over everything. So I'm gonna pull these up now. I don't need them anymore. Everything is where it should be. Well, that's a wrap for today. And as you can see, I got my beam up. There's the tripod things, whatever you want to call them. Used old pieces of wood, scraps, and we hand carried it, put it up there. Not me by myself, of course, you know. Had my son-in-law. He did it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. It's a 20-foot beam. But as you can see, I dug a small hole. It's not very deep, 6 inches maybe, just so that this thing wouldn't slide around while I was positioning it. And then I positioned it. What took the longest, believe it or not, the absolute longest, was setting up this tripod thing, or whatever you want to call it. The problem I'm having is the ground here is rock. This has been my parking spot, work on it spot for years. So there's a lot of gravel on the ground. Driving a stake through that is a nightmare. So every one of the ones that are in there bent, did all kinds of stuff. And I still couldn't get a good, you see that? So it's kind of messed up. But I persisted, I found a way to do it. Had to do it on the very bottom screw. And yes, JJ, these are operator arms. They are good for stuff like this. Best stakes I ever had. I do have wood ones, as you can see down there, but anyway, so she's ready to start getting rafters. There's a crown in it, so it throws off my level a bit. So hopefully I'll pull out that one little piece right there underneath and I'll let it settle, but I'm not doing that today. Today I am pooped, so that is it. The scariest job is done. Here we are. We've got all the rafters in place. Now we've got to work on the collar ties. That's what's going to tie the north side and the south side, tie them together and build your triangle. And that's going to be what's going to push the weight down into these heavy duty corners here. So that's next. We'll pull that up and get going and we'll show you how it went. We had some boo-boos here. Yes, boo-boos. Unfortunately, I would say maybe some mine, but I think a lot more wasn't mine. I have a lot of wood that's twisted, and I've got to decide if I'm going to put a fascia board. Now, fascia board is the board that you have on your eaves that go this way, and the stuff underneath is a soffit. Now, I could use the fascia board to straighten these out. Look at this guy. That's terrible. I got a bunch of them on the other side. Just twisted as heck. Tried to use the best ones I could where the seam of the roofing is going to go. But out here, I got to decide, do I put a fascia on or not? I have the wood. I just don't like to waste it. All right, so as you can see, we've got the collar ties on. We've got all the rafters up. You can see we actually mechanically fastened this with bolts rather than just screws. There are some screws in every one of them, but the bolts. We had some issues. A lot of this wood was warped and bad. I can thank my supplier for that, but I got it up there. It's not the Taj Mahal, but it is a beautiful looking site because now I can pretty much focus on the last two things, the roof and the tails. So first thing we're going to have to do is cut the tails. The tails are the far end. Decide the length of the eave, and I don't think we'll go much more than a foot, but we're going to measure the roof. Make sure that the panels fit. I don't want to waste wood. If I got to alter it a little bit, I will. If I got a little extra, we'll make it a little longer. But as you can see, we're coming along. We're coming along. The structure is done. Roof deck's done. I've even got drip edges on the sides. Of course, the drip edge on this face here won't go up until after the tar paper, but there's two support beams still in the middle. Just, I don't know why, but I just left them there for now. I haven't taken really hardly any of them down. But as you can see, I've got the deck up. I've got the drip edge, I'm sorry. You come down here. This side isn't as pretty as that side, but it suffices. Yep. Nice and straight, except that one little spot where I dropped the drip edge. Body hammer, yeah. Okay, time to start rolling tar paper. Roofing in progress, the last step. We're looking good. Our drip edge is up. This side over here, the south side. Yeah, not bad. Still got the crown to do, but we're not there yet. But we're getting there. Notice the crown at the top. That's my red capper. That looks good. Looks good. She's good. Yeah, the ladder right there is actually going to be hung up underneath the eaves up in there. Place to stash it where it stays safe. And that's a wrap. This is a project done. She's good to go, and I'm ready to go to the next project. You have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will get back to you. Y'all have a good day.